And good afternoon, folks. Chief Meteorologist Nick Lilia here, taking a look at the tropical update brought to you by the good folks at Pine Belt Gutters and Remodeling. This is for June 16th of 2020, and this will last until the 23rd. Generally, this time of the year, we're looking into the Gulf of Mexico, just off the east coast and into the northwest Caribbean for some semblance of development, with a little bit of a bullseye just off of the west coast of Florida there and into the Gulf of Mexico. And this is generally because we still have, pretty weak sauce, but there. Cold fronts that are still coming through. I had one roll through just the other day, and sometimes pieces of these can get kind of broken off and into the Gulf, and we've seen this happen over the last couple of years. We're also looking down towards Central America, toward the Central American Gyre. Now that's still there as we head toward July, but we do start to kind of spread things out a little further into the Caribbean as we head through June and into July. Now, we are getting toward the middle of June, and there are a couple of things to note on here. We've got one little wave, which is back here just off of the northern coast of South America, and then another one that's off to the north and toward the Carolinas. Now, right now, those are the only two places with any semblance of a chance of development, and the National Hurricane Center noting a 10% chance for both of this one here and this one down here. And also noting a whole mess of dry air coming off of the coast of Africa over the next couple of days. A lot of African dust is going to be blowing across the Atlantic in the next few days. So you can see that showing up here on the 700 millibar moisture 850 vorticity map. You've got all of your vorticity down here, and then what was there off of the coast of the Carolinas. But here we go through Friday and into the weekend, and just look at the bulge of there it is, the bulge of all that dry air poking off of Africa, and that's going to come drifting all the way across. Take a look at this, all the way across the Caribbean and into the Gulf of Mexico as we head through not only this weekend and through the better part of next week. And we end up in a situation, I think, by the time we get toward the end of next week, look at all this dry air. This is almost the entire Atlantic basin just covered in some of this dry air, which means as we head toward the end of June, if this holds, it's going to be very hard to get development out of the tropics anywhere at this point because there's going to be so much dry air in place, which is good news. We'll take it. So there's a look at your tropical update for June 16th of 2020, brought to you by the good folks over there at Pine Belt Gutters and Remodeling.